Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on Strasburg, Pennsylvania. This is a new mod map out by Jaked77, 45.34 megabytes download. There are 12 required mods which download automatically. This does say in the description, welcome to Strasburg, Pennsylvania, a map based off the historical town in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, my hometown, where I have a family-run beef farm. Not me. Jaked77. Strasburg was a place of rest along the Conestoga wagon trail as the settlers travelled west. It is in the heart of Amish country. The soil is rich and fertile. The iconic Strasburg Railroad is still in operation today, running continuously since 1829. The map looks like this. On New Farmer, we start with plot 63, which is all this here. Now, what I will say is, whilst the map itself is an actual, as you can see, it's an overlay of the actual area. But apart from the roads, and I think the rivers mostly, not all of the areas that have buildings and things, they don't match up in so much as there aren't buildings and things there. So for doing a map tour, when you're going around thinking, okay, what plots do I need to buy? What plots do I need to look at? Where are there likely to be farms? Things like this, plot 94, think, oh, there's going to be a farm there. There'll be a farm there. You're checking to see how do I get there by road. Actually, turns out there aren't any farms there. So some of it does match up, some of it doesn't, which is tricky. You've got the main bit of town here, and when it refers to the Strasburg Railroad, that's not actually on the map. So yeah, it's a tricky one, and I get it. You know, it's I've never made a map in my life. I wouldn't know where to begin. But what I will start off by saying is, well, not start off by saying, I will say next, plot prices and field prices are pretty good. They're not. There's nothing break the bank. There's not a huge amount of forestry. There's not a sawmill on the map. There's not a biogas plant on the map. So if you want any one of those, you can purchase them, no problem at all. There are a lot of plots we are going to need to buy, and a lot of plots that, like these ones here, I had to buy all those up off camera because you're not sure. There could be, you know, it looks like there are houses on there, but when you actually get there on the map, there's not. That's kind of open ground. But it gives you the option and possibility of buying up smaller plots to then either place productions or decorative items, whatever it might be. Now, there are a lot on here as well. Personally, and this is my own personal opinion, I'm not a big fan of maps that have tons and tons of sleep and wardrobe triggers. But I guess, you know, the ability to have that on a map. But that being said, we need to go around and buy some plots off the start. So for example, plot 65, if we go to buy, we purchase that one, we get 66, we get 69, 68, 100, and you can see all the various things popping up. Now some of them are just sleep and wardrobe triggers. Some of them, that was on 69, this is on plot 68, we've got a couple of cow fields, but it doesn't match up. There are some buildings, but not all. You'll see as we go around. We've got plots 25 was one, I had a sleep and wardrobe trigger on it. As we come down to here, I'm not going to buy these plots down, there are already 3 here. What I like about this, there's some nice details. You get on the road here and there's 3 mailboxes at the end of the driveway, which obviously match up to the 3 sleep and wardrobe triggers. Bits like this as well here are a little bit trickier to discern. Plot 31, if you buy that, that has got a sleep and wardrobe trigger on it. If we come up here, these 2 didn't. That's an open patch of grass. Plot 1 buys all the roadways. So if you want to be able to put in roadworks, street signs, traffic lights, decorative items around, you can. So you can buy up plot 1. Plot 72, that needs to be purchased. Plot 78, no, it wasn't plot 78. Let's sell that back. It was plot 2. Plot 2, plot 84. There's loads. Plot 74. These were all okay. I can't remember if plot 80 needs to be purchased. I don't think it did. No. I think we were all right there. Coming back this way, we were fine. I checked all of these. Didn't need to buy any of those, if I recall. Then we come down to here. We've got plot 70 there. And then we've got plot 4 there. So now you can see dotted around, we've got some animal pens and bits and bobs knocking around. We have got a lot of sleep and wardrobe triggers. This bit surprised me. I was expecting there to be a farm there. But anyway, that's the map. There's nothing down here on 31, or 32. Obviously there is, you know, there are fields, but there's not a building or anything there. which is interesting because we have got some chicken pens, and the chicken pens here are the big long chicken pens, and to be fair, they probably would have fitted there perfectly. It probably would have looked spot on. Again, I'm not knocking the map maker, I'm just saying, you know, when you look at the map initially, it can put you off slightly as to where you maybe think things would be or could be or should be. Start farm, sleep and wardrobe trigger is just here. That fenced in area is not an animal pen. The buildings here, there are going to be a lot of buildings and stuff around the map that can be removed. There are no custom crops. Contracts are available. It tells there are 25 collectibles. I haven't found any. Slot count on new farmer is 1,029. On farm management start from scratch, it's 961. You don't have any of the equipment and machinery that you start with. You can remove these buildings here if you want to. The slot count came down from 961 to 959. Not a huge amount. You'll be able to get it lower because there are, let's say, there's a lot of farms, a lot of buildings around the map that you probably can remove, and there's probably a lot of fencing you can take out and that kind of thing as well, if you wanted to. So sleep and wardrobe trigger there. Big barn just here. It's tucked away in the barn here. We've got some of our start equipment and machinery on new farmer. So, forage wagon, bale wrapper, baler. Just out here, trailer and seeder. Inside the barn here, and we've had this is the second map actually. I think it was Quebec countryside I encountered this, which was odd. Windrow and tedder just there, plough, cultivator at the back, front mower, rear mower's just behind, and then the front loader gear. But watch this, look, it is attached apparently, and I can operate it, but that shouldn't be there. That's very weird. So the problem you've got is disconnecting it. I think I've got to go to there. There you go. Now it'll let me to disconnect it. I don't know why it's done it, and I'm sure it's Quebec countryside that had it. That's got a mind of its own now. Can I get that out of the way? So if that won't move, I'm stuck. Let's just push that out of the way. Right. So this is the only vehicle we start with. And we're going to be going around the map using this. There's going to be a couple of bits where I've got to come back on myself, because again, what we'll do, if you look at the road here, this road runs out to these farms here, then we come back along here, and we can go up all the way up into the top of the map. But then I'm going to do a bit of a naughty and cut across country here, just so we can do this strip as we come back down again, because there's not a loop exactly. Making sure I stay on the correct side of the road, which I haven't been doing a lot of lately. It does say in the description there are 12 start farms, so I'm assuming some of those are the sleep and wardrobe triggers. So we take the second turning just down here. Well, I'll show you them, like I say, because you might decide if you're playing multiplayer. That's another reason why having a few start farms, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. There you go, sleep and wardrobe trigger here. We're a bit of open space, so you have got room for activities, whatever it is you might want to do. So we've got our next plot, sleep and wardrobe trigger just there. Another one just there. So these were plots, what, 68, 69, probably what they all were now. 65, 66, 69, 68. This one is a separate plot. This is the one that's got two animal, that's got an animal, well, they're both animal pastures, cow pastures, I guess. If we turn just up here, the first one, we do have animals in it. We've got 100 out of a potential 365 here. Now remember as well, this cow farm is not linked to that sleep and wardrobe trigger. That is a separate plot of land with a separate building. A lot of these where we've got these little farms and animal pens, there's plenty of shed space and storage space as well that comes with it. And across the way here we've got a pasture that hasn't got any in yet, but that will hold a potential 314 cows. I did have a look on the internet at Strasburg, Pennsylvania, because I was looking for images of what it was actually like. It looks like one of those, there's a lot of places across America that look wonderful places to live. They just look incredible. So we are now currently here. This is plot 100, sleep and wardrobe trigger, 2 chicken pens. The chicken pens don't have anything in at the moment, but they will hold 500 each. And again, I haven't tried actually, but I don't see any reason why, because they're empty. Can we? Yeah. So I say you can remove stuff. You can get the slot count down lower if you want. If you decided, well, actually, I'm never going to use that as a chicken farm, I'd rather put whatever it is on it. There's only one production, base game production, in the on the map, and that's the bakery. So if productions is your thing, there is a lot of scope for that as well. Right, so we're going to head back along this road, sweeping back towards, what was the next plot? 25, I think it was, isn't it? Well, I'm just looking at my notes. Like I'm asking you, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah, the countryside has a nice sweep to it. So yeah, sorry, as I was saying about looking at the Strasburg stuff, yeah, it looks amazing, lovely place. The town itself, really beautiful, kind of not old style street. I'm trying to the best way to describe it. Just looks fantastic. There's those 3 mailboxes. You follow that track around across the river and up around the back, and there are 3. Well, we can actually do that, can't we? Let's go airborne. Follow that round. Come up here. Those 3 sleep and wardrobe triggers up on the side here. So it might be you want to have, on multiplayer, you might have 3 friends that are helping you out as workers. That's plot 25. Sleep and wardrobe trigger at the front. You do get that barn space there, and then you do get obviously this long field here out behind it as well, just there. I'll tell you what I did do as well off camera. Because obviously early access to the Highlands Fishing Expansion Edition, a lot of console creators, including myself, I got not console, content creators got early access last week. It releases tomorrow, and it was one of those things of, oh, I could test as well just to see if it'll work, because you've got the rod and reel fishing. So I had the Highlands Fishing Expansion enabled, selected, and when I did my first bit of prep round here, there was a little pond area, and you can use the fishing rod and reel on here. Custom maps it'll work on. So plot 31 that I mentioned, it was off to the right down there. That's that building you can just see over there in the mist. Over there. That's a sleep and wardrobe trigger as well. So that's that one down there. Like I say, it's difficult because it looks like there are houses and buildings and bits and bobs. But when you look across the countryside here, that it doesn't quite match up. But you can see where certain things are. And that's the other one. That was plot 32. And on the map that shows 2 big buildings here. Like I say, I suppose maybe it wouldn't have worked. Well, it could have done it. Like I say, when you're making the map, I guess you can do it any way you want, can't you? So turning up here. This is something I was saying about where you've got 2, looks over to the right, where there are on the map, plot 94, and I can't remember what the other plot was now, I think it's split in 2. Looks like there are big farms there, which in real life there are. So I came out of the trees looking over thinking, okay, where, and there's not, it's not on there. So, I mean, you can put them on there if you wanted to. If you wanted to recreate that, you can absolutely go for it. This other plot here is plot 95, so this little grass plot here you can buy separately. Again, I don't know, you might want to put a gas station in, or put in whatever you like, of course you can. So, to the left is plot, which one was this? 72? I think this is plot 72. Again, sleep and wardrobe trigger and a lot of barn space. There's no animal pens on this one. But this does match up with the map overlay, in so much as there is a farm here. You can access this from this road, I'm looking that way, where we just came from. There's also a track that runs down this way, which gives you access to the other road that we were on, so you can come at it from different directions. So, like I say, plenty of barn and building space at this plot farm here. And again, you can roof buildings if you want to. You do you. We're going to head up to the top of the map. There's a road that runs east-west or west-east across the top of the map. That's where we're heading to now. Directly across the road, when we get up there, we'll come to that in a little while because the road for that is off of the top road. But that's, I do wonder actually, because it does say about my hometown where I have a family-run beef farm. I'm just wondering whether that is the farm, because there's a lot more to that one, I think, than the other ones. I mean, I could just be imagining it. So as we get to the top of the road here, we've got bakery to the right-hand side, it's kind of crossroads here. Bakery to the right. To the left, we've got plot 84. Again, purchase that. Sleep and wardrobe trigger at the front with a big barn behind it. There is a little plot right at the top here. Where are we? It's this one, isn't it? Yeah, it's the edge of the map. It's a tiny little corner of that. And again, because there are buildings there, I thought, oh, I wonder, that's just a little plot. There's trees and stuff up there, but it kind of is on that little triangle. If you want to buy that, you can, but I had to double check it. So plot A4 just there. We are going to go right, and then we're going to come back across the top of the road, the map, because this is now on back one for the things we need to go and have a look at now. So coming up on our right is going to be plot 2. Another one of those large chicken barns that will hold 500 chickens. Just here. Main farmhouse, sleep and wardrobe trigger just there. No, hang on. Didn't say it will hold 500. It's got chickens in it. What am I talking about? This has got 250 out of 500. Just checked my notes. Hang on a minute. I've missed something there. Yeah, we have got chickens in it. I think we have to open the side door first to get in there. There we go. We do already have chickens in this one. So I suddenly thought, as I went to drive away, I thought, we've got cows in that one. No, we have got chickens too. So, cow pasture barn. We've got 150 out of a potential 213. So they're out in that pasture just there. Again, more shed and storage space just here. And then these 2 silos here are productions. And there's various recipes and stuff we can do here, and as you can see, they're both built in, or they've been placed so that the unload spouts inside the shed if you want to collect from them. But these are both identical, and we can make hay, pig food, silage from chaff, grass, hay or straw, and total mix ration. The recipes are there. I mean, looking at the recipes in the cycles a month, these should run fairly quickly as well. If you look at the hay one, whilst it's a 1-to-1 recipe, it's 120,000 cycles per month, so that's going to run at quite a rate. Million litres of storage for everything, whether it's incoming or outgoing stuff. Pig food recipe is a little bit more complicated. But again, this is not a mod review of these. These are 2 of the required, or 1 of the required mods, but there are 2 of. So these are identical silos here at this farm. That is plot 2. Going back up to the main road at the top. We've got the gas station just here. Then just off to the left there, you can just see up the road there at the back. There's another barn there, and there's another house at the back. That's plot 74. You can purchase that with the sleep and wardrobe trigger on it as well. So we are currently, he says, up here. That's plot 74 up there. I did buy all these separately. They don't have anything on them. I'm going to double check this again actually, because I'm now. No, it doesn't. I'm just looking at the map and then comparing that to the ground. That didn't have any buildings on it. Continuing along, on our right, coming up, we have got the main vehicle shop and workshop trigger. This is also the reset point for the map. It's a nice big open map as well. So for like bigger, the Plains and Prairies pack, that kind of stuff would work kind of well on here, I think. So your workshop trigger, your vehicle shop trigger is over there, workshop trigger is just there, and this is the reset point. Then just here we have an interesting. Until I got to this point, I didn't know we had NPCs on the map until I got to here, and then we had 2. So this is the animal dealer. We've got David at the front, Katie at the back for a chat, but this is the animal dealer point here on the map. So what we're going to do now is head back along the road till we get to that crossroads again, and then we're going to go out the other side. So now heading west. I will see you when we get to that crossroads with the bakery and plot 84, and we will continue on from there. So, crossed over there. Along a bit further. On our right hand side coming up, we've got the warehouse. It's your pallet purchase point and the warehouse sell point, which is behind the building. Again, you'll do the bottom left on the mini map. You've got plot 87 and 93. I did buy both those. There's nothing on there in addition to. We've got the warehouse and the warehouse sell point just there. That large building over there is kind of a transport hub type thing where you can load and unload machinery, equipment, lorries. Ben is up on the dock up there. Don't you just see him? Let's go cut across the grass and see Ben. It's not a sell point or anything. I don't even think we can buy this bit of land actually. So I was going to say if you could, no, we can't. That'd be quite cool because then you could make it into a transport hub. You could put a sell point in if you wanted to. But anyway, Ben's there. Next one along. I don't think there's anyone on this one, but it's another kind of transport hub building type thing. Again, it's a bit you can't buy the land. Anyway, crossway there, farmers market, sell point. At the farmers market, we have got Walter and Noah, I think, are over here. I didn't actually see them. They're on the map. Are they around the back of the building, or are they inside the building? They might be inside the building when it opens, potentially. They're showing on the map. What time is it now? 8:23. Is it 9 o'clock the building opens? Let's skip ahead time just so we can double check those facts. That's weird. Does the door open? Oh, it does. I could have sworn. I thought they opened automatically, or maybe they were open before. Oh, there we go. There's Walter hiding behind there. They're obviously here to sell their wares, and there's Noah. There we go, just there. So, and it'll work like the farmers market usually does. You just bring your stuff, and the things will fill up, and it all looks wonderful. And then main sell point on the map here, we have got Grain Barge Terminal 2. Just here. This is a bit where I said I'm going to cut across. Apologies for anyone who has a phobia of crop damage. I've got crop damage turned off, crop destruction off. But if we just cut across here, otherwise we would have had to go all the way back down. I suppose I could just be more to the right, couldn't I? We would have to go all the way back down to almost where we were at the start to come all the way back up the road. At least this way, we can cut across the next road and head down. So, those 3 plots I was talking about earlier that looked like they've got houses on, I said you can buy them. They're coming up on the right hand side. We've got plot 70 to the left. And as you saw when we were buying all the plots up, they're not hugely expensive, none of them. So yeah, that little bit to the right hand side is split into 3 or 4 plots. To do with whatever you want. Again, more barn and building space. Storage space. Sleep and wardrobe trigger is just past here. The main farmhouse is there. Cows in the pasture, and the cow bit is around the front. I said the cow bit. We've got 25 out of potential. That looks like a lot more than 25 cows. 25 out of 167 potentially. Oh, maybe it is. There's a lot of cows in there. Whoa! Glad I noticed that. Too busy looking at the cows. It is nice as well the way it's been done by JTub77, because I said when I looked online at the place itself in the real world, there's a lot of this red barn. It's got that very, I know it's a stupid thing to say, it's got a very American feel to it, Strasburg. And like I say, across the entire United States there are thousands of places that have that feel, you know. It's what we in Britain, what you see on the TV, that idealized view of quintessential Americana. It's that thing. Yeah, it looks great. And you notice as well, because we are in Amish country, I'm not saying it's because we're in Amish country, no traffic. You notice there's no traffic on the roads, nothing been going along. To be fair, we haven't seen this. I mean, it's a pity. I know the Giants haven't done it and probably aren't ever going to do it. Having equipment and machinery that can be operated and used. So you've got horse riding, but horse and carriage, horse and cart, ploughing by horse. You know, if you had that, this would be the perfect map for that, wouldn't it? You'd be able to absolutely nail it. That whole Amish vibe. It'd be really cool. And then finally, we've got plot 4, which is just here to the left, crossing where both rivers kind of converge there. So just here on the left hand side we've got sheep and goat pasture. Whoa, sheep and goat pasture just to our left. That will hold a potential 231 animals. Again, shed space, barn and building space, sleep and wardrobe trigger just there. And this brings us up onto the back of one of the earlier plots. Was it plot 25, where we came out onto the main road from our start farm, which is just over there. So we're on the corner now of plot 25 back here. And that is the map. That is Strasburg, Pennsylvania by JakedUp77. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.